All right, check this out. Back in the day, right? You had the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar were a group of people. It started with 9 knights. Those 9 knights, they were supposed to be controlling the countryside and so forth, became working for the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church, so forth, made them either the Knights Templars, but essentially during the Crusades, the uh, the hitmen for the Knights for the Catholic Church, the Knights Templar, which down the line became what you know as the Freemasons. Now, the Ashkenazi Jews from Germany was also part of the slave trade as well, which I said before. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Now, what happened was they decided that they wanted all of us in this land of America, we able to call America, to be slaves. So Christopher Columbus, a Spaniard, Elias, a white man, who links back to the Greeks, that links back to the Romans, that links back to the Catholic Church, links with the Pilgrims, you know what I'm saying, was part of the process. Now keep in mind, Christopher Columbus technically never stepped foot in what's known as North America. He stepped foot into South America. Now, South America, that's Black, Hispanic, Native, Indigenous. You know what I'm saying? It's just like North America, just like Canada. This whole region from South, North to Canada was all called a ZERF. Now, us Black, Hispanic, Native, Indigenous was in this, as they call us these days, was in this land over 15,000 years ago. Christopher Columbus came here about 700 years ago. Now, through the use of lying and manipulating people, had people thinking that we were all different people. But scientifically, biologically, you know what I'm saying, us Black, Hispanic, Native, Indigenous, as they call us, are the only people on the planet that originally in Israel. Now, when you think about Sumer, which is the oldest civilization known to mankind, this is where you get the phrase Sumerians from. You know what I'm saying? Have built the ziggurats. The ziggurats is the oldest structure known to mankind that predates any pyramid on the planet by thousands of years. Now, the ziggurats were built in the Middle East, specifically what's known as nowadays as Iraq, where the Garden of Eden has been known to be at in the first place, which Saddam Hussein had proved, by the way. As weird as that sounds. Now, that being said, how was it possible that we traveled around the whole entire world? That's a very simplistic answer. Now, the whole world was Pangea or Gaia. The root of Pangea is Gaia, or how the Greeks, the original Greeks, before that landmass was stolen, called it Gi. Now, us Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, as they call us, or Israel, you know what I'm saying, travel with nomads, nomadic people, traveled around the whole world. So we was in every continent before the great earthquake in the first place. That being said, that means that we still lived everywhere. So, in order to confuse the whole entire planet, what they did, referencing the Pilgrims, the Catholic Church, as they invaded places throughout the eastern continents and got dominance and control. They also invaded the Western continents for power and control. Then enslaved people lied and said we all came on slave ships. It would be impossible to put to migrate people in a slave ship that already lived everywhere. What they did was move people that was rebelling. This is why when you look up slave ships, you won't find no documentation of any kind about slave ships. What you will find is cargo ships. I know people gonna say that, but keep in mind even when you dealing with cargo ships, they had slaves on it. This is where you can find cargo ships. Even still, it still will be impossible if we all came from Africa to migrate all of us to this land of America. Especially when you realize that Christopher Columbus had proved we was already here to begin with. That's why he bought a Hebrew translator in the first place. Which, oops, that just proves that we was here. Proving my whole theory, right? Interesting.